Below estimates in June, showing 102,000 new jobs. And Chicago-based challenger Gray and Christmas said companies announced almost 42,000 job cuts for the month, a gain of almost 13% from the year before. And the U.S. trade deficit widened in May by more than forecast to a 5-month high as imports surged the most since 2015. With business now at 23 and 53 past each hour, and in the noon business hour, live from the Bloomberg Newsroom, Gina Cervetti, News Radio 780 and 105.9 FM.
Got a great deal on brake repair? Go to CarX Tire and Auto and get premium quality brake pads installed from only $99. That's right, $99. CarX Tire and Auto. We stand behind our service work and in front of our brake jobs. At participating locations, see manager for details.
Doctors and nurses make their living trying to help others, but they are human beings, and human beings sometimes make mistakes. When a doctor has worked for 24 hours straight, fatigue and lack of focus can lead to critical mistakes being made. Other times, it's the policies or system that's to blame. For example, when a doctor or nurse comes in on their shift, they are forced to rely on charts and records created by others. Sloppy paperwork or inaccurate record keeping can give the doctor an incomplete picture, or even worse, the wrong picture. And that can lead to serious injury or even death. It's called preventable medical error. Recent studies claim that preventable medical error causes up to 400,000 deaths a year. That's nearly as many deaths as caused by smoking. When this happens, those responsible must be held accountable to compensate the injured person or their family. But the good news is, just like you and I are required by law to purchase auto insurance, doctors also get insurance coverage in case they accidentally hurt someone. For help, call the Milwaukee Law Group.
Tired of opening your closet and never finding what you want to wear? We can help. Stitch Fix, the personal styling service that matches you with your own stylist. Someone who listens to what you love and delivers the best clothes for you right to your door. With Stitch Fix, you'll get to discover new styles, new brands, and new looks to fit your unique shape and your budget. Discover the stylists and styles that work for you at StitchFix.com. Personal styling for women, men, and kids. StitchFix.com. Personal styling for everybody.
WBBM and HD Chicago, WCFS-FM and HD1 Elmwood Park, Chicago.
WBBM News Time 8:57.
A military jury has acquitted a decorated Navy SEAL on all but one charge. Special Operations Chief Edward Gallagher was accused of premeditated murder in the 2017 killing of a captured ISIS fighter in his care in Iraq. He was found guilty of posing with the body of a dead captive, defense attorney Tim Palatori.
On what they're about to sentence him on is much less than the time that they've already had him in the brig. So he is going home.
Lawyers contend Gallagher was framed by disgruntled platoon members who fabricated the allegations.
The Japanese government has directed more than 1 million residents in parts of its southern main island to evacuate to designated shelters as storms batter the region. The Fire and Disaster Management Agency says 3 zones are affected. A directive is stronger than an advisory, but there are no penalties for people who don't comply.
WBBM News Time 8:57.
Now the winning Illinois lottery numbers in the Pick 3 evening game 787, Fireball 7. Pick 4, 3740, Fireball 1. Lucky Day Lotto evening game 2, 5, 7, 11, and 25. And the Mega Millions game had a rollover. The numbers 3, 25, 37, 40, 55, Mega Ball 13.
WBBM News Time 8:58. Traffic and weather together on H. Durant.
Looking good on the Edens inbound, but outbound is 28 to Lake Hook Road. Kennedy inbound report of a stall on the right. Local lane at Addison, 30 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 20 minutes in from the junction. The local lanes, just 16 in the express lanes from the Edens to the Ohio feeder. On the outbound side, 10 to Montrose, 26 to O'Hare. Eisenhower inbound report of a rollover crash in the North Avenue exit ramp. 51 minutes from Route 390, 35 from Manheim. 23 out to Manheim, 36 out to 390. Stevenson inbound 48 minutes to get from 355 into Lakeshore Drive. 38 from the Tri-State, 39 out to 355. The Dan Ryan inbound report of a crash in the left lane at 87. You're looking at 30 minutes from 95th to downtown, but outbound's all clear on the Ryan. Traffic sponsored by Art Van Kearsley Mattress Stores, Ware, Chicago, and by Tempur-Pedic. Get traffic and weather together on the 8th every 10 minutes on News Radio 780 and 105.9 FM.
It'll be partly sunny through the midday hours and early afternoon, warm and humid. High about 87. Rain returning late afternoon into this evening. So when you're out and about driving to wherever, be sure to check in later on. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. 73 at O'Hare, 72 degrees lakefront, going up to 87.
Traffic and weather together on the 8th. Sports at 16 and 46. Business at 23 and 53 from the Fifth Third Bank Studios. Fifth Third means business. This is Chicago's all-news station, a radio.com station. News Radio 780 and 105.9 FM, WBBM.
Coming up in the next half hour on News Radio WBBM.
This is Mike Krauser. A Chicago alderman says the soft approach has not worked. Now he's going to have homeowners fined for improperly discarded trash.
This is Rachel Pearson. Following overnight storms, the Westmont neighborhood is once again faced with flooding.
Inspector General's report determines conditions at migrant detention facilities are worse than first believed. CBS News has more in a moment.
WBBM Sports.
White Sox have a doubleheader against Detroit. Cubs are back in action in Pittsburgh.
The Dow is 59 points. CBS News next at 9.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Mass Mutual.
I'm Wendy Gillette. A new government watchdog report says overcrowding at detention centers for illegal immigrants in Texas is creating a potentially dangerous situation. Customs officials say they are hopelessly overburdened. CBS's Maria Villarreal.
They said, look, we have no other options at this point. We are overrun. This is an acute and worsening crisis. We have to figure out how to stop the influx or at least slow it down, or else these facilities are going to keep backing up.
President Trump is tweeting about the big 4th of July party in Washington he's throwing. He says it will be the show of a lifetime with tanks on display and multiple military flyovers. But it may inconvenience some. CBS's Major Garrett.
The Federal Aviation Administration will temporarily shut down on 4th of July flights in and out of neighboring Reagan National Airport from 6:15 p.m. to 7:45 p.m. and again 9 p.m. to 9:45 p.m. This to deal with first the military flyovers and then the long, elaborate fireworks display.
The Washington Post reports the National Park Service is diverting $2.5 million to help pay for the celebration. A little boy is dead and 2 others hurt after a home invasion in Harris County, Texas. Sheriff Ed Gonzalez.
A 2-year-old that was in the garage brutally murdered for no apparent reason. It appeared that a robbery was the motive.
A patient has died and 5 others are infected by a mold infestation at Seattle Children's Hospital. Cairo TV reporter Gary Horcher.
Back in May, 4 ORs were shut down because of gaps found in the hospital's air purification system. When testing showed more aspergillus, they shut down all 14 of them indefinitely.
A bourbon industry disaster in Kentucky. CBS's Jim Krasula.
Dozens of firefighters are battling a huge